You see, attraction is not something we do. It is something that happens when we are aligned with the very rhythm of existence. Most people imagine attraction as a kind of magnetism between two separate beings, one reaching toward the other, one hoping to be seen, one fearing rejection. But in truth, there are no two. There is only the dance of energy recognizing itself through different forms. When you desire to attract someone, whether it is a lover, a friend, an opportunity, what you are truly desiring is to return to that feeling of being recognized. You wish to be felt, seen, understood. You wish for the eyes of another to mirror your own essence back to you. And yet, what you may not realize is that the energy you seek outside is already vibrating within you. Attraction begins not with the gaze, but with presence. For presence is the most irresistible force in the universe. When you are truly present, not projecting into the future, not replaying the past, not building yourself out of thoughts, but simply here, breathing, open, something extraordinary happens. The world softens around you. The noise quiets. People begin to feel you, not as an idea, but as a living frequency. This is why so many chase love and never find it. They are trying to get something that can only arrive when they stop chasing. To attract, you must become still enough for life to find you. And this stillness, this quiet magnetism, begins with a simple understanding. You cannot attract from lack. You can only attract from fullness. Now, you might ask, but how do I become full when I feel so empty? That is the paradox. Because the fullness is already here, buried beneath the noise of your seeking. The moment you stop searching for someone to complete you, you remember that you were never incomplete, and that remembrance is the vibration of love itself. Love, you see, is not an emotion. It is the awareness of unity, the knowing that all things are expressions of one infinite life. When you love someone, truly, what you are recognizing in them is the same life that moves through you. You are bowing to yourself in another form. That is why attraction feels divine, because it is divinity remembering itself. So many people ask, what do I need to say to make them like me? But words that come from fear are powerless. They may charm for a moment, but they fade like mist. Real words, the ones that awaken hearts, do not come from the mind. They come from the stillness beyond thought. There are 4 words ancient as silence itself that hold this power. Not magic in the usual sense, but a resonance. When spoken from the heart, they open a door that logic cannot. But before we reach them, you must understand why they work. Let's begin where all attraction begins, in vibration. Every being vibrates at a certain frequency, a rhythm of thought and emotion. This vibration is not metaphorical. It is literal. Every atom in your body hums with electromagnetic energy. The field you radiate is an orchestra conducted by your inner state, and others, consciously or not, feel it. You have felt it before entering a room where someone's energy feels heavy, even before they speak, or meeting someone whose presence makes your chest expand, your heart soften, your laughter flow. That is resonance. It is invisible communication between fields of consciousness. Attraction, then, is not manipulation. It is coherence. When your inner vibration is coherent, when what you think, feel, and express are harmonized, you become luminous. And luminosity draws. It does not pursue. But here is the difficulty. Most of us live with our thoughts saying one thing, our emotions another, and our actions yet another. We say, I want love, but we carry the vibration of fear. We say, I am confident, but our body remembers rejection. We say, I am open, but our heart is armored. And so our field becomes dissonant. We broadcast static rather than music. The secret, therefore, is not to learn new tricks of persuasion, but to remember the music that was always yours. When you remember, the universe responds. Not because it suddenly favors you, but because you are no longer resisting it. Now, think of this. Every person you have ever met is not truly a person, but a reflection, a wave in the ocean of your own consciousness. When you are aligned with yourself, others naturally align with you. They don't even know why they are drawn. They simply feel peace in your presence. This is the essence of attraction. It is not about impressing. It is about expressing the natural joy of being. But to express joy, you must release the idea that you must earn it. You were not born to be worthy, you were born worthy. Now, as we journey closer to these 4 words, we must dissolve one more illusion, the illusion of control. So much of human suffering comes from the desperate attempt to control how others see us. We adjust our masks, our tone, our opinions, just to be liked. But love that depends on performance is not love, it is transaction. And you cannot attract the infinite by pretending to be finite. The irony is, when you let go of control, you become irresistible. Because people sense freedom, and they long for it. Freedom is magnetic. Think of the ocean, it does not chase the river. It simply is. Vast and accepting, and therefore all rivers eventually flow toward it. Be like that. Be the ocean. For there is a stillness in the depths of you that is never disturbed by the waves of wanting. And when you rest there, the world begins to turn toward you. Now imagine this. You are sitting quietly, breathing softly. The world around you hums with invisible life. You can feel the warmth of the air, the heartbeat beneath your ribs, the pulse of consciousness itself. And from this stillness you whisper not to anyone, but to existence itself, a few simple words. Words that remind the universe of what you have remembered. Words that make everything begin to flow again. But before I reveal them, I want you to notice something deeper. The moment you quiet yourself enough to listen, you already become attractive. Because you are tuned to truth, the 4 words do not create attraction. They awaken what is already there. They are a key, but the door was always open. You see, we are often told that love must be earned, that connection must be proven, that attraction must be deserved. But these are illusions born of fear. Love cannot be earned, because you are love. You cannot attract what you already are. All that is required is recognition. Attraction is not between 2 people, it is the recognition of one life seeing itself in another. And so, before you speak these words to anyone, you must first speak them to yourself. For no one can receive from you what you have not yet given yourself. When you learn to look at your reflection, your flaws, your scars, your contradictions, and smile, truly smile, without needing to change anything, you have already mastered the energy that draws others. That energy is acceptance. Acceptance is not resignation, it is liberation. It says, I am here. I am enough, I am whole. And wholeness is the most beautiful fragrance in the cosmos. People fall in love not with perfection, but with presence. So the practice begins here. Sit with yourself. Feel the breath. Feel the gentle pulse behind your heart. And say softly, even without knowing the full meaning yet, there is nothing missing. For in that moment, you become a magnet. You are no longer chasing what you lack. You are radiating what you already are. You see, the beauty of existence lies in its effortless harmony. The stars do not compete for brightness. The flowers do not force the bees to come. Each simply is, and therefore everything flows as it must. And yet, the human being, the curious, self-aware fragment of the infinite, often forgets this harmony. We strive to become lovable, to appear radiant, to construct an image that might earn us affection. But what we do not see is that in the attempt to become lovable, we are denying the love that is already moving through us. The irony is exquisite. The moment you stop trying to be attractive, you become magnetic. Because you are no longer pushing energy outward through effort, you are allowing it to flow inward through being. You have felt it before, have you not? That strange presence in certain people, people who don't seem to be trying at all. They simply exist, and yet the room seems to breathe differently when they walk in. Their eyes carry depth, their laughter feels unforced, their silence is comfortable. They are not begging for attention, yet attention naturally gravitates toward them. That is not coincidence, that is coherence. When a person's inner and outer worlds align, the field around them becomes spherical. It doesn't pull or push, it simply radiates. That radiance is what you call charisma. But charisma, at its essence, is not confidence. It is surrender. The ability to let go of who you think you should be, long enough to become what you already are. Now, what if I told you that these 4 words are not about convincing others to love you, but about reminding them of love itself? Because every human being is thirsty for one thing. the remembrance of their own divinity. And when you speak from that remembrance, when your words carry the vibration of truth, others feel it instantly. They may not understand why, but something ancient within them stirs. You awaken their memory. You awaken home. So what are these words? We're not quite there yet because the power of the words depends on the state from which they are spoken. If they are uttered from fear, they are just sounds. If they are spoken from being, they become spells of awakening. To reach that state, you must first understand one thing. You cannot attract what you are afraid to lose. Fear repels because it creates resistance. When you desire someone with fear, fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear of not being enough, the vibration you emit is one of separation. You are silently affirming, I am not whole without you. And the universe, being perfectly honest, mirrors that belief back to you through distance. But when you rest in wholeness, when you silently declare, I am enough now, you shift your energy from grasping to giving, and that shift changes everything. People feel it. They sense your peace. They cannot explain it. But something about you feels safe, like a home they had forgotten they were missing. The mind may analyze faces, words, and gestures, but the heart recognizes energy instantly. It does not need a reason to open. It only needs permission. And so, before speaking these 4 words to another, you must first speak them to yourself, not aloud, but through the way you breathe, the way you see, the way you listen. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. There is a light in the center of your chest. It pulses softly golden, warm, infinite. With each breath, it expands, filling the space around you. You can feel it caress your skin, shimmer through your thoughts.